So one of the questions we're asked a lot is how do they find clients? How do we do that?
Great question. So we really focus on an all-round marketing system, and that's broken down into online, offline, networking. So online is all your aggregator sites and your local SEO and your digital marketing. If you want to do paid spend on that, your social media, and there's systems around that. And I've learned myself actually. I 3 years ago was non-existent on social media, and then I learnt about social media, and I'm now.
You're on social media?
Yeah, sometimes, a couple times. So I've just become sort of very active in that space, and so we do workshops with franchisees to say this is the how-to. And then we've got lots of content that we supply to franchisees, video content, written stuff, workshops. Say this is how to do it. So. On top of that, when they're on the aggregator sites and so on, we will look at that on a regular basis and say, hey, that picture, is it a stock image? Does it really fit right? And so on. And so we're constantly looking at that. So we've got an internal team and an external team that we work with that support with that part. And then depending on budget, there's lots of paid things that you can do on that space as well.
And just define aggregator site for the...
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, of course. So things like homecare.co.uk and portal type sites where a client might go and find a listing. So there's probably 10 or 15 that we tend to say, just get onto all of these because actually overall it's cheap money. So, and with cheap money, when I say that, I mean that one client might be worth £20,000 or £30,000 to you per annum, and so to spend £500 a year on a site and you might get one lead from it, for me, I think that's worthwhile. And if you maximize it, you might get lots, and then it's focusing on reviews and so on. So I was out in the States last year at the IFA, the International Franchise Association's annual convention, and I was talking to a guy from Google who's talking about how to maximize Google reviews and so on. And so things like that, I can come back and we deliver that in training to franchisees and so forth. Then you've got your offline, and so your offline might be campaigns that you run locally that have everything from a billboard to a leaflet, and so we have systems around that, and we've been working with some really interesting branding strategists to say, help us develop campaigns. What does that mean? What does that look like? And how do we do that with somebody? And if we're putting it in one place, how many places should we put that in? And so on. And then there's that networking piece, which I really personally enjoy. And when I started my first care business, I just did that. I was 25. I was slightly broke, and I thought, well, I can do this. I can get out and shake lots of hands. And so I just gave myself a target of every week I'm going to shake X number of hands. And so we've got a system around that and the how-to, and we sort of help finesse that with franchisees and really dig in and work on that. And I think for me, I'd say that there's no real silver bullet in anything. It's about doing everything little and often and just having a wide spread of things and just becoming that key person of influence locally within your sector. And whether that's doing a speaking event at your care association, whether that's going to the networking events, whatever that might be. So when someone thinks about home care in the area, they think about yourself, they think about Walfinch.